double check for space.
Ryan, I'm counting the entourage, making note of any, distinctive features, big nose, different races, whatever. How many are there? How about that to start with?
Well, there's Bertney, and she has her total entourage, including herself, is 10. So there's 9 other people. All of them are human, gen human, or Orion, with the exception of one Thought who's got dyed pink hair.
Do a double take on that one.
We're thinking Lola Bunny from Pink. Yeah, she looks about. You remember how messed up Billy Bob looked, or whatever the hell James's old character was? This one actually looks kind of attractive for a giant walking rabbit. Not something you'd ever want to hit, but not. Oh God, what? Why aren't you dead? But yes, she's got all of her hair is all fluffed and teased, and she looks nice. That's the one thing you notice about all of them. All of them have spent a lot of time with their makeup, with the exception of one girl, and you can guess that she's the makeup girl.
Of course.
All right, so they all show up and look all distinctly. They're all blondes like Bertney, though they're all darker blondes than Bertney. Except for the Thought, who's all pink. They've all got tons of earrings on. They are going for a classic. They're going for the 1990s look, which is so popular nowadays.
Of course.
Seriously, God. So yeah, they're all dressed to the nines, though. They're all wearing very cheap-looking stuff that's really expensive. And they all pile into the limo.
So there's not room for us then.
Well, let's see here. There's room for 2 people up front, and the room up front, the driver's seat is not Python-sized, but the passenger seat is Python-sized. The other 2 of you, you can't really sit on the external portions of the vehicle because it goes too fast. So yes, you have a problem there. You were not told that she had 10 people in her entourage. Anything about 6 to 8, you could manage it.
Don't make the call.
I can work with this. Well, the seat's big enough for you. We've got a driver. I'll latch myself onto the hull.
Okay, you have any magnetic plates on your armor?
Not magnetic. I have a grappling harness.
You can almost hear the quartermaster groan as you attach the grapple harness.
Oh, there's got to be a place to attach it that's not going to be...
Sure.
Not saying a word, Commander.
And you got a better idea?
Not saying a word. And this is not my character voice. So, yeah.
No, I'm asking you. Your character, do you have a better idea?
I honestly do not. Other than securing a separate vehicle, if we had more pilots, having an extant vehicle driver like a 2-wheel or something small would be nice, but nothing available.
If I may, sir,
Yep.
dump 2 of the entourage, have them do media relations as she leaves. We'll ride inside.
I'll bring it up with her. We'll see what happens. Worst case scenario, you'll travel along with them and we'll find other modes of transportation. You should be enough to scare off anything coming. I guess, worst case scenario, I can drive. And your pilot can follow along, procuring another piece of equipment for you.
Okay.
And flying Uber to the rescue.
No.
So I bring that up to her.
She...
So we have the option of, looks like we may need some media relations taken care of here so that we have a little more room for the Battlelords to accompany you.
She considers. Make a persuasion check.
Persuasion.
It's not an unreasonable demand.
We're all so good at that.
Yeah, so we're looking for a, let's go with charisma. Awesome. So I've got a -5 in charisma. All right. Let's see what happens here. So I'm looking for a 60, and that gives me a 54.
Okay. She doesn't like it, but she decides to cut loose 2 of her people so that they can catch up with her later. So you guys are given room in the front of the limo. And all of you are able to accompany her through the air to get to where you're going.
Cool. Who's sitting where? Is it all 3 of us up front? You said there were
No,
2 seats up front.
The only Python-sized seat was in the front passenger.
Okay, so
The rest of we're with them in the back.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, you're in the back of the. There are 2 less comfortable seats for the security or whatnot, and then there's a whole bunch of really plush seats for everybody else. You're flying across. Bertney's drinking all of the alcohol on the. Apparently, the purpose of the staff here is to drink all the alcohol in the limo, and they are really trying to see if they can achieve that.
It's all comped. It's comped. Drink. Sitting on the balls of my feet, just a palm on the hilt of my weapon, looking outside the vehicle frequently.
Like, ooh, he's all really scary and serious.
Little nod and bow.
It's a very uneventful flight. You are surrounded on all sides. If one of you was driving, I'd make some sort of an encounter up based on a media thing getting too close, but your slave driver is not that interesting. So as you're getting closer, Raven starts to chat with you. He pops up on the back of you and informs you that there is someone flying way too close. Untai, as you look behind you, you do see a news vehicle from one of the local tabloid news services flying very, very close behind you. It's hard to tailgate while flying, but they are achieving that goal.
Right. So look meaningfully at Galbraith. Fingers up to eyes, fingers out the back.
Nice. You
Shall
see
I
it's
put the
impossible
fear
to
of
miss.
God in them, sir?
Which god?
Whichever one they worship.
As long as there's no casualties.
Okay, let's see. Does this vehicle have any sort of noise generation device that I can speak through? Looking around.
Sure. It's got a sky roof and a loudspeaker system.
Okay. Stand up through the skylight. You there! Pop a rocket out of my forearm. You are too close to the limousine. You will back away, or I will blow you out of the sky. Pause.
All right. You see the digital camera flash at you like 30 times as the vehicle slows behind you.
Wait for them to move to an assured clear distance, then go down.
Yep. And suddenly you see, hey, Bertney, we're on the news!
Naturally.
You see Untai holding up his rocket, pointing it at a news van. The way they're cutting the angles of the shots, it looks like the news van is far behind the vehicle rather than right on top of it.
Of course.
It works.
Yeah.
All right.
We're not here to care about your press.
Yeah, they're bitches anyway, says Bertney, but I'm sure my manager will talk to you about it later. You guys keep flying, and you pull into the stadium.
All right. Is this like another red carpet situation?
This time, no. You guys actually... Let's see here. Let's see here. Yes, it is. They're just going to walk in right in the front entrance of the area. So you guys fly over and land next to the stadium, which looks a whole lot like this. And for simplicity purposes, Bertney is coming into the main front door, which is located right at football time.
Woo!
So the limo is Union Square. So the limo pulls down and lands in front of Union Square. You glance outside. There is not tens or hundreds of people. There are thousands of girls, human girls, Iridani girls, sadly enough. You're embarrassed for your species. The Moge Dabu are out in force here today.
Huzzah.
And it's the Iridani middle class. They are not sword saints. They do not pretend to be sword saints. Actually, to the Bosch. And the part of the Iridani middle class that is not sword saint is here, and they are doing everything to fit in with everybody else. So they're all dancing and screaming and waving signs. You even see a bright pink python lizard girl waving her tail and everything else to get Bertney's attention.
That's a horrible thing.
Yes.
Look at Imperador. Point.
You noticed her. She's dressed very...
That's slightly disturbing, sir.
All right.
How do you want us to roll out?
Let's do one up front and two in the back.
So I'm up front.
Yep, you're the
I
biggest.
like it that way, states Bertney.
The entourage will follow along behind us.
All right.
So I'll get up first.
All right, you step out. No one says, everyone's like, they know you're the bodyguard, so everyone's still waving for Bertney.
I'm trying to clear a path.
You are in a red carpet situation. There is a cleared carpet, so there's not like there's a good 10 feet of separation on both sides from you at minimum.
All right, then I'll move back to the door and open it up.
Okay, you open the door. Bertney steps out. She grins and smiles and waves at everybody. The crowd goes to a level of chaotic that you can't even hear each other unless you're using your suit mics.
Turn on the white noise. Better, much better.
Bertney's waving and yelling at people and saying nice things. No one can hear anything she's saying, however, because it's so flippin' loud. The rest of you guys, you two pull up behind her, and she starts walking and waving. And if she walks right down the middle, no one can touch her, and she's perfectly safe. So she goes right to the edge and starts shaking people's hands, and people start grabbing at her.
Like move right up, ready to sever limbs if they start to pull her over.
All right.
I do my best to keep an eye out since I'm taller than everybody else.
Yeah,
Yeah, you could have a major advantage to spot people in the crowd. Yeah.
that's the idea.
All right. You're periscoping it, but suddenly, Moze, since you said your reaction was this, you see two pairs of arms grab over and start tugging at Bertney.
Okay.
Who's
That
Bertney?
doesn't sound.
Bertney.
That doesn't
Excuse me,
sound
Bertney.
quite as threatening, but I still pop out the light sword and grab one of the wrists. Look straight at the person that's grabbing her.
So the 12-year-old girl stares up to you with eyes wide and white as possible.
Release the wrist. Look at the other. You said it was 2 pair, so look at the other.
The other one is also. The other one's like 13. The littler one starts crying and is obviously wet herself.
Pop the blade back in.
Everyone kind of backs away from Bertney. Bertney kind of glares at you a lot.
Please refrain from severing the limbs of the fans.
Just through the microphone.
Yeah.
Just through the microphone. I did not swing.
Very good. Very good.
All right. Well, everyone is now backing away from you specifically because you look like a stone cold killer. So Bertney's able to get into the building without any further ado. She turns around and glares at you, then turns at Galbraith and goes, "Keep him on a leash. We will not be severing the arms of any of my fans with a light sword."
It was merely for show.
For show? That little girl pissed herself. I nearly pissed myself.
He did not swing.
You have any idea how much bad press it would be if he cut off a little girl's hands?
I'm sure they could spin
it. Rebel terrorist dismembered by brave Battlelord.
Rebel terrorist posing as 12-year-old girl with deep cover story. Parents confused.
Sleeper cell.
Oh, you know, at this point, they just throw the whole family in prison.
Good point.
You shouldn't have been standing there.
Epic.
All right, so small children have nothing to fear from... Oh, wait, yes, they do. They have everything to fear from Moontide.
What? It's not like he killed a large crowd of hippies or sold the survivors into slavery.
None of you are very good people.
Yeah, but you know what? Among this lot, I might be the best, morally speaking.
That's depressing on many levels.
Yes, it is.
I say that I am no longer playing Billy.
Okay, all right. So maybe, but you this is only the beginning of the second session you played that character in, so we'll see.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys continue walking through the area. You are taken to the back part of the complex. There's the dressing rooms there. She pretty much says she doesn't want to talk to Untai anymore, and that he needs to go do something that doesn't involve killing her fans.
That sounds very acceptable.
Damn well.
Can I do some surveillance?
Yes, sir. I will patrol the area and look for potential threats.
Do not attack any of those potential threats.
I will contact you before making any violent action.
Sounds good. Just make sure they're at least of legal age before severing limbs.
Yes, sir.
Boy, I would have expected that to go an entirely different way, but okay! Ugh.
You would have expected him to...
No. Just idle murder seems to be his reason of existing. But I digress.
Oh, mine or his?
Somebody's.
Ours.
So I think the best course of action would be to have one of us outside her door and one of us inside.
She no longer wants one of you inside because she's no longer as trusting of you as she was a few minutes ago. The room itself, as you glance in the room, they'd have to blow through a wall to get to it, so there's degrees of safety there.
All right. I start.
Well, as the biggest and largest and easiest to block a doorway, you'll be on door duty.
The door-sized one of you is on door duty. That makes sense.
Door and a half.
Door and a half.
I'll.
You gotta duck in and move sideways to get in.
I have my computer with me, so I will start looking up information on the entourage.
There's not that much there. They all have social media accounts. They're all pretty boring.
Okay.
If we're all outside the room, I know I am and James is, just ask, would you look for information about local rebel factions? I am curious as to what threat they might pose.
Okay, I go to www.7rebels.com.
And then I start walking to do my patrol. Be back in a while.
Alright, okay.
7 level check.
Okay, you're glancing around to see what you could find out about local rebel activity. You find several news stories in the last year or two. There's a lot of low-level rebel sympathies out here on the frontier, but this is Kodiak country. They deal with Arachnan invasions, and it's kind of like, I may not necessarily approve of what the Alliance is doing, but I also don't like to get my family eaten by arachnids, so I'm willing to accept more than other people might.
All right.
That's acceptable.
Oh, you do also find a nice article about a font named Billy Ray, a suspected rebel who was liberated from a prison transport recently by a group of suspected rebels.
What can I make to remember when I was reading the files that was their former repair officer?
Make a check at some difficulty. We'll see if you make it.
Oh, okay. Let's see. Slash. Hey, look at that! I made it.
Excellent. So, there you go. There's a lot for you. Yes, principally because there's a big picture of him with some sort of shotgun blowing the face off of one of the stewardesses. But you definitely recognize that diseased, mangled form from elsewhere, and then you're able to put 2 and 2 together a few moments later.
I forward that information on to my other officers.
Well, good to see somebody was able to get him off.
I'm sure that'll be maybe a conversation we have later. We have duties right now.
Very tight-lipped.
All right. Let's see. Okay, so let me see here. James is outside the door. Moze is walking a patrol. And Kevin, where are you?
I'm in reasonable earshot of the door.
All right, you found a little corner nearby that gives you a good look down the hallway. As such, let's see here. You see a cart pushing down the hallway towards you at rapid speed. There's a guy sitting behind it in a red uniform. It looks like a food tray to you.
I radio ahead. Looks like we have an incoming catering order. It was the catering order asked for.
I give a knock on the door. Whatever the knock is.
You knock on the door. It's not complicated. The font opens the door and kind of sticks her ears out and looks at you and goes, "What?
Did you order any food or drinks?"
Did we order any food or drinks? I'm starving. Yeah, I guess.
That was not the question I asked. Someone actually placed the order.
Oh, she calls back in. No, Bertney says, I haven't ordered anything. Check with my manager. Manager pops his head up after smoking some cocaine. Pulls out his thing. No! Who's not scheduled to arrive for another 30, 40 minutes?
I step out to stop the cart and activate my shield. Like literally in front of the person pushing the cart.
Hi, how can I help you? I gotta get this order into Bertney.
What is it?
Food.
Who requested it?
I don't know. I just got an order. Go drill this to Bertney's room.
In my lower arms, I'm holding the cannon. In my upper arms, I start to check the food.
He steps back to the thing and okay, you can check the food.
So I check the food.
All right, you lift off the tray. You look inside. There is food there. Make a detect concealment check.
Decon.
1 second, guys.
No problem.
I put my foot in the door that's open.
Oh yeah.
And say, we're inspecting the food for safety, and then bring it in.
Oh,
So
okay.
my target number was 95.
Okay.
I got a 17.
All right. You easily, as you were glancing at the food, it is actual food. It's not. The food itself isn't, it's not bad quality food, but it looks like someone went and got a whole bunch of takeout and poured it into fancier looking containers. As you were looking at the vegetable tray, however, you recognize several KSATs. I'm calling them KSATs because that's what they call it, drones for all intents and purposes, that have been rigged up to look like carrots.
Colon cam.
Nice.
In 4 hours, we'll have a view of the inside of Bertney's colon. Nom.
I shut the lid and say, I'll take it from here.
I kind of need to deliver this myself, or I'm not going to get paid, sir.
You have two options. I can take it from here, or you can take it back with you.
Okay. He kind of steps back a couple paces. I'll have to call my manager. And he starts. He clicks his thing and starts dialing his manager, but he's several feet away from it now.
I'm watching both ways down the hall.
All right, you're watching both ways down the hall. Nothing happens. You got the tray now. The guy's still calling.
Okay. I start to take the tray down towards the room.
Okay, he kind of like half-heartedly follows you, but every 3 paces you're taking, he's taking 1 to 2. So he gets further and further behind you. You push it down the ways. You're still like 30 or 40 feet from the.
Right.
You're 10 meters from the door. He's about
there.
20 meters behind you. What do you do there?
I stop.
Okay.
Turn back. Is there something else I can help you with?
Could I get a receipt for that?
Sure. I scribbled that on a piece of paper and I handed it to him.
Okay. He decides that since you've got a big enough gun and now you're closer to the python lizard, he's going to just take that and go. He walks away.
I push it over to the python lizard.
All right.
There's some cameras in the carrots, but if you're hungry, you can eat them.
I'll consider that. Also,
But I would suggest to the manager that he order some actual food. This is some crappy takeout.
I'll take the right word.
Veggie tray.
Yeah. I'll say it's a veggie tray.
It
looks
looks
like
like a veggie tray,
All right.
and I'll kind of is there like I'll put all that on another plate
Okay.
and then open the door and push the
Rest of
cart
it
in.
Okay. As soon as you take the tray and move the tray off, both of the carrot equivalents suddenly sprout little rotor blades and lift off to the air and start trying to take pictures of everything. All right. Since they're so busy trying to acquire pretty blonde girls, they don't notice the giant fearsome lizard, and you're able to grab and crush both cameras in your fist.
Not colon cams.
Yeah. No one wants that kind of a shot of Bertney. They want pictures of Bertney doing everything other than digesting. Ingesting, yes. Digesting, no.
There's porn for everything.
What's Bertney
Yeah.
eating? Robots!